Hello, welcome back to the channel. I'm James and this is Nerd Topic. So today's topic for the video is my wish list for the clone troopers in the Star Wars The Black Series line created by Hasbro. So I've sort of narrowed this down to a top 10 with a few honourable mentions. So again, this is my wish list for clone trooper characters I want them to make. So yeah, let's get right into it. So in this video, there's two main rules. So the characters they can't be characters that have been announced to be in the pipeline, which means basically they are being confirmed to be made, and they can't be characters we've had before. There's only one exception on this list, but the one exception in the video is number 7, and you'll see why. I feel like it is a needed character, and we have only just recently got them, but yeah, you'll see in the video. So starting with honourable mentions, I have 4 in this sort of category, and starting with Apo. He's Sergeant Apo during the Umbara arc, and he's promoted to Commander Apo. Sort of the only reason he's in honourable mentions, he's not as a unique design. His main unique design is just the arrow on his head, which I think is a reference to a character from Avatar: The Last Airbender. My next clone, in the honourable mentions category is Tup, who again hasn't got too much difference. He's got like a bit of a tear on his shoulder pad and then a tear under his visor, and then on his face he's also got the same tear tattoo. Although I will say he does have a different hairstyle, which would be cool to get as a head sculpt under the helmet. My next one in my honourable mentions is Dogma. The main thing with the honourable mention characters is especially these 3, they haven't got too much of a design difference compared to like other clones. So yeah, Dogma again hasn't got too much difference. It's mainly like the red on his helmet, which is the main difference as well. Again, he's got a more of a unique face with tattoos on his face, which would also again be a cool head sculpt to get. I think that would be the main interesting thing about that character, the main interest to buy it. Final clone in my honourable mentions category is Captain Grey, who was a more recent clone we have seen from the Bad Batch. He was in episode 1. He's sporting this sort of green design. He's got a pauldron, and yeah, we see him execute Order 66. So it'd be cool to see him with maybe the hologram accessory. It also would be really nice to have just another captain or commander on the shelf to sort of improve and increase that capacity of characters. But yeah, I really like his design, and he'd be a really neat character to see. So starting with my top 10 list, my main list for the 10 that I really want is number 10 is Kix. So I wouldn't mind either getting the Phase 1 or the Phase 2 version, although I think I would prefer the Phase 2 version. And then I would like to get the head sculpt where he has sort of the shaved head and has the tattoos on the side of his head and on the front, whereas compared to his season 7 look, he just has the regular like hair, like how Commander Cody has it. So again, I also like his design. Maybe he could come with the backpack to have like thermal detonators or like any med related, since he's a medic clone. And I like the sort of medic design on his shoulder pads. I can't remember which one it's on. There'll be an image on screen to show you. But yeah, I really like the 501st Troopers. I think the majority of this list is 501st characters, so you sort of expect that. But yeah, so Kix is number 10. Coming in at number 9, and I'll pair this with number 8, is Phase 1 or Phase 2 Boyle, who is from the 212th. He, I guess, hasn't got too much design, but it would be cool to get a named 212th clone trooper. And again, this would tie in with number 8, since Waxer and Boyle were kind of like a pair. I think the reason Waxer places a bit higher in number 8 is because I just prefer his design in terms of his Phase 2 helmet especially, which there's no clear images to see, but yeah, I'll get into that when I get to number 8. But Boyle, again, would be cool to have his head sculpt with like his handlebar mustache. And again, it'd just be really awesome to have a named 212th Trooper. So coming in at number 8 is, again, as I mentioned, Phase 1 or Phase 2 Waxer. I really like Waxer's design on his Phase 1 or Phase 2 with the tally marks. As well, on his Phase 2 he has the painted picture of Numa, who is one of the Twilight girls him and Boyle saved during the Clone Wars. So that's a cool little reference. As well, I wouldn't mind getting the macro binoculars he comes with during the Umbara arc. So yeah, and you know, I think he was a really likable character during the Clone Wars for what we saw, until he sadly dies during the Umbara arc. So he'd be cool to put on the shelf, which for me is over there. Eventually I'll show my Black Series collection off, but yeah, he'd be really cool to go with Commander Cody and other Clone Wars characters you may have. Coming in at number 7 is kind of like how the last two were, pairs with the character number 6, and it is Phase 1 Echo, who we saw during the Defense on Camino arc. I really like this design with like the sort of sand blue kind of pattern, and as well I think on it might be on Echo, or well, I know they both, Echo and Fives, have it, but they have a decal on the shoulder and one has it on their thigh armor. It's like a decal with like a Z6 rotary cannon, like the minigun, and it says 4 Heavy, which was a cool touch to obviously reference Heavy, who is one of the clones who was in their original Domino squad. So that's a cool little detail, and I just really like the Phase 1 design, especially like I said, with this like sand blue colour scheme. It looks really nice. So yeah, that's number 7. Number 6 is, as I mentioned, Phase 1 Fives to go with Echo again, as they are like sort of a pair. Well, I would say they're the most iconic clone pair. Again, I really like, as everything I mentioned with Echo is the same for Fives. He would have a decal, which I think is a really nice touch. I like the colour scheme, and it'd be cool to just have like a group of Phase 1 troopers on your shelf as well with your Phase 2. So yeah, I mean, not much else to say. As well, I guess we'd finally get like a head sculpt for Fives with his iconic Fives tattoo and his sort of goatee, which would be a really nice touch. Coming in at the halfway spot at number 5 is a more recent clone trooper who we actually only have just seen within the recent episode of the Bad Batch, or episode 11, depending on when you're watching this. If you're watching this far in the future, obviously it's not a recent episode. It is Captainhauser, who was shown in the vintage collection as a vintage collection figure a couple weeks back as Captain Ballast, so we don't know what's going on there, whether he gets a name change or it was just a thing that happened during production. But again, it's similar to the colour scheme of the Phase 1 Fives and Echo, but it's like it's more of a slightly different blue. It's like a turquoisey blue, and I think it looks really nice. Again, it'd be another cool to have great to have another sort of pauldron sort of Captain Commander clone to go with the other ones we have. And again, I would hope he would have a removable helmet, and he would have this like really cool like haircut or hairstyle that we've like never really seen on a clone before. So it looks really nice. His armor looks really nice. It's basic, but it also just, like, again, sometimes basic stuff does look the nicest. So yeah, Captainhauser is at number 5. I would imagine he might get released in the Bad Batch line at some point. But yeah, we'll see. At number 4 is kind of 3 characters, but I branched them into like just one group because that's kind of what they are. So it was a group of 3 ARC troopers called Rancor Battalion that we saw like 1 or 2 episodes of the Clone Wars. So there was Blitz, Havoc, and Colt. So we'll start with Colt. Colt's design looks really nice with like the red, the black, the white sort of skull look on his helmet. Again, these are all very similar designs since they all are ARC troopers, the main difference being the colours. I think my favourite, however, is Blitz, who is this yellow one who has like diamonds on his like camo. It's like his blast resistant camo around his waist, and then I just like the yellow colour scheme. And then Havoc is the blue one, who again I just really like the designs of most ARC troopers, and they would be using the new ARC trooper body mold we just got with Echo, who is coming out soon. Well, he's already come out in some places of the world, but for me, he's coming out quite soon, within the next couple of weeks. Hopefully I'll have him by then, and I'll show him off in a whole video or something. But yeah, so that's number 4. Number 3 is one of my favourite like just named clones, who is in very like few episodes of the Clone Wars, but for the few episodes he was there, yeah, he was by far like one of my favourites. Is Hardcase. I really loved his personality, his like hyperactiveness, and just like any clone holding the Z6 rotary cannon. I just love it because it's like probably one of my favourite weapon designs for the clone troopers. And I really like his sort of, again, simplistic but really nice design of these like lines on his helmet and on his chest piece, and just, you know, subtle pieces of blue. Again, I really love the 501st designs, and that's why Hardcase is at number 3. So the final two are again like ARC Troopers, so they are similar designs, and they would reuse the same ARC Trooper mold that Echo has used recently. So number 2 would be ARC Trooper Jesse, but I would also take just the regular Phase 2 or Phase 1 Jesse. But I think the ARC Trooper Jesse is my favourite look, with like the blue helmet, obviously the Republic logo. He would have his head sculpt underneath with the Republic logo, and since we got this character in the Vintage Collection, I would imagine we would be getting him in the Black Series at some point soon. But yeah, again, I really love the ARC Trooper design. He's got his like exclamation mark pattern on his chest piece, and I just love like the camo and everything about ARC Troopers is just cool looking. So yeah, Jesse is also a fan favourite after season 7, but yeah, obviously his tragic death also occurred in that season, but at least we got to see him one last time, sporting this sort of look, and again, I think a lot of people want this figure, so ARC Trooper Jesse is at number 2. And coming in at number 1, you already knew who it was, it's ARC Trooper 5s, to go with our ARC Trooper Echo, who's coming out again, like I mentioned, soon. You can't have the 5s without an Echo, especially the ARC Trooper versions, which is, I would say, one of the more iconic looks of both of them. Again, he would pretty much mostly reuse, if not completely reuse, the Echo figure. He would just have his 5 tattoo on his head sculpt. But yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer for me. I think it's going to happen soon, if not by the end of this year. Probably won't come out this year, I don't think. Probably, maybe it'll get announced, but yeah, that's my main figure that I really want. I mean, I know 5s is almost as big of a fan favourite as Captain Rex's, so again, it's a no-brainer to me. You've already released Echo, you've got the sculpt, you know, it's going to happen at some point, so yeah. So this was my first sort of style top 10 video, so let me know what you think in the comments below of how I structured it, if there's anything I can improve. Again, these are my first few videos, so I'm getting used to the formula and structure and how to make these videos, so I know I'm aware that they probably won't be the best, but eventually I'll get the hang of everything and I'll have a strict formula on how I'm going to structure the videos, and hopefully they'll be the best for your viewing experience. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. As I said, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Let me know what characters you would like to see in the Black Series soon. And I've been James, this has been The Topic, and I'll see you in the next video. This is a editor's note, just adding this on to the end of the video. I don't know how I forgot, but I did remember, because they haven't announced it for the pipeline. For some reason I thought they had. This is why I didn't include it on the list, but I also really, is also up there with the ARC Trooper 5s, is the Bad Batch version of Echo. Again, it's one we really need. Omega's already been announced for the pipeline, so Echo is the only one we're missing. Again, I'm guarantee they'll make it at some point, but sorry, I'm tagging this on the end of the video. Again, it's because I thought they already announced it in the pipeline, but no, I researched that they hadn't, so yeah, just adding in here. I guess it would be an honourable mention, or again, it would be sort of tied with number 1. So yeah,